This is a hopefully some information for anyone who has the same sort of problem I have with my Webesto on an Audi A8L. Audi A8 is fitted with Audi A8 is fitted with the Webesto heating system, and in the VAG software, the VCDS, I've seen that it doesn't have a contact with the controller, and that's the fault that's showing. So I decided to investigate a bit further. So took off one side, let me just show you the driver's side, or sorry, the right hand in the UK driver's side is where the Webesto is located. It's underneath the wheel arch front bumper area. So as you can see, mine is out, and it's all the gubbins is out. The radiator's there for the Webesto, and there's like a plate where the Webesto sits on. Now, to get to all the bolts, you need to take off the front section of the bumper. You don't need to take the whole bumper off, but you need to just take off that front corner, which is the 3 screws. You just see one of them, that silver one on the right hand side of the video there. There's one, there's 2 and 3 below that. That removes the front bumper, plus underneath the bonnet some screws to take off. You should probably see in my previous videos. Once you've got that corner off, you can remove the light through the gap of the bumper and the frame. Take the light out, and you'll get to all the screws underneath and from the top. Once the air filter is also removed, there's 3 bolts holding the Webesto on, and there's like a bracket, and you see it's a little bit dark. I haven't got a torch on me. There's a little bracket there where the Webesto is sitting on. There's also the pipeline, the water pipeline, inlet and outlet, and the fuel line to remove. And I'll just go to the Webesto itself so I can show you that better. Okay, so inlet and outlet tubes, these 2 here, and the pipeline for the fuel there. They are held in by these sort of I guess they're called Jubilee clip type retaining clips. They are pretty good, but I have to get some different ones to hold it in. So I'm without one at the moment, so I'm going to find one that to replace that. These clips here, they just basically squeeze together. I use a tool like this to squeeze them together, and as you squeeze, you push up away from the actual rib here on the pipe, the alloy pipe, and then that lifts off, and then you can remove the pipe itself with a bit of spray oil and a little bit of jimmying around. So that's those 3 pipes there. You've also got the exhaust. Now my exhaust here did have this coil attached to here by these clips here, so that was on there, and the other end of that exhaust did have this, but as it's a bit rusty, it broke off. So I'm going to find an alternative to put on there, so it did look like that. Okay, as you can see, it's got the Webesto sign on it, and then it did attach to this end of the Webesto, and obviously I'm going to clean it all up, and don't need those bits. So I'm going to clean all that up, get it all nice and clean, and then fit a new pipe on. So effectively, this looks like this is the Webesto itself. The 3 bolts are 1, 2, and 3. Those, so the Webesto sort of lies on its side when it's in position. Now, just turning it over when it's in position, sorry, on the actual mounting plate, which is the difficult bit to get it off the mounting plate because everything's in the way. Air filter, the light, the bumper. Isn't really an easy way to get it out. So just letting you know, so that hopefully it helps somebody else. It is lying on its side, kind of like that. So the mounting bolts, like that. So the mounting bolts are underneath the frame. So the frame is held onto the body of the frame of the car, and then the bolts for the Webesto are held on with 3 bolts, which are here. Okay, those 3 bolts. Sorry, not that one. Those 3 bolts there hold the Webesto to the frame, the mounting frame for the Webesto. There are another 3 bolts which I'll show you in the next video, and as you can see, my air filter's off. Just looking at the Webesto itself, there is a glow plug inside here. You can take this piece out, which I've done actually. I've opened this right up. Just be careful if you do this. The screws into an alloy can be stuck, and as I found, one of my screws bust, so I had to get a pair of mole grips and work it out until I got it out. The head actually snapped off. So just go careful with unscrewing the bolts, as I found they will snap. So just looking at the top of the controller, these are the 3 covers. One is for the actual control module itself, the PCB, the circuit board. I'm told that one of the likely things to go on these Webesto is this like temperature sensor, thermal sensor. This is the temperature. Basically, it needs to make contact with this plate here, and then you've got the regulator on this side of the circuit board. There is another regulator here at the top under my finger. Yeah, just there. But that one apparently is one that can go, but I've searched around and I can't get a replacement. So if you do know of a replacement in the UK, I can get it. Please just put a comment on this video, it'd be great. I've connected up myself a 12-volt source from a battery pack. Basically, I just plugged that in, and then I made my own little. This was just LED wiring lights. I just put some plugs on the end of this. Okay, I did a positive and negative. I put it into this plug. There's 2 little plugs here that are on the engine, on the actual car. This is basically the sensors from the MMI, which is the next thing on VAG to have a look at. And this is the power. So nearest, let me just make sure, nearest this side. Oh, you can see my finger. Nearest this side. Okay, that pin on that side, my right there, is the positive. This side is a negative. So nearest this connector is the negative. Okay, so I just put positive, my red is my positive, and the blue is the negative. Connecting them up to my my source, which happens to be that one there. Well, sorry, plugged it in there, and then I've got my 12 volts to test the thermal to make sure I got circuit board voltage. So I tested on the regulator. I got 12 volts across those 2 pins there and there. I also got 12 volts here, but what I didn't get is 12 volts across this thermal resistor, because I believe there's no signal from this connector here. So, and I didn't get any 12 volts at the other end, at this side of this plug here, which goes to the glow plug. So I believe it needs a signal from here. Okay, so I know I've got 12 volts on the circuit and various places, and this regulator here. I did have it here, obviously. Have it here. That's where I connected. Sorry. Did have it on all over here. So I know I've got some 12 volts. I just think it needs a signal from the car, from the MMI, to then power the glow plug. Send power down to the glow plug, to then heat that. So I'm narrowing it down at the moment. I'm just feeling my way with this, because I've never actually taken Webesto out of a car. So hopefully in the next video I'll be able to give you some more information. So I hope this helps somebody, and you like the video. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye.